So this is the Team on the Run call for April, what is it, 17th? I'm like in a time warp after spring break. But I want to welcome our guest speaker, Danielle, to the call. We met through the New Leader Conference page, and she was so gracious in offering to speak to our team. And I know that she's got some awesome expertise to share. Danielle's been a coach for 5 years, and she is a 5-star coach. She has 3 kiddos, ages 11, 8, and 6, and a new puppy. And this puppy is so cute. Bailey, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, she's so cute. She has held Success Club 5, guys, for about 50 months straight. So that's pretty amazing. And she is going to talk to us about her story and about the power of personal development. Kayla, are you in the barn? Sorry, I'm totally all over the place. Oh, no, maybe it's just her picture's paused. It looks like she's in the barn right now. I'm like, that's amazing. That's impressive.
Awesome.
Sorry, I'm like squirrel all over the place. But anyways, Danielle's going to talk to us about the power of personal development. And I'm just so honored that she's here. And I hope that maybe Kayla is in the barn. I don't know if she can hear me. You can? She is. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Danielle, most of my team is in Wisconsin and Minnesota. So you're seeing like firsthand dairy farm. That's impressive. We do have some people in here, like Leah's in Texas. Not everybody is in the Midwest here, but a lot of people are. So Kayla, you win an award. That's pretty amazing. No excuses, girl. She is tuning in. So I'm going to turn it over to Danielle. Let us share some of her story and her expertise. And thank you so much for being on the call with us tonight.
Yay, I'm so excited. So I am from New Hampshire. I have pretty much lived here my whole life. I moved my poor husband here a few years after we were married. He's from Colorado, so he does not love the winters here. I know he's from Colorado, but they don't get as much snow as we get here in New Hampshire. But we just bought a house. Thank you so much, Beachbody, income disclaimer and all that. But it is all because of this business. And I'm just so excited to talk to you all tonight. So I'll give you a little bit of my story. I started coaching 5 years ago, but my journey really started after I had my daughter, Evelyn, my second child. It was a rough pregnancy. We actually moved to New Hampshire right before she was born, which was probably the craziest thing ever. And we had some really traumatic things happen right after we moved, and it was really hard. And I had a new baby, and I had a toddler, and I had never struggled with my weight. But after I had her, I found I couldn't lose weight. I was depressed. I was overwhelmed. I was stressed out, and I felt like I'd lost a little bit of myself. I was very lonely. We moved to a new place. It was coming back home, but at the same time, you can never come back home again, and everything was different as an adult. And I was very, very just overwhelmed with life. My daughter was a difficult baby. So instead of losing the baby weight like I had the first time with my firstborn child, I gained more weight after having her. And I remember seeing a picture, and I remember looking at that picture and just weeping when I realized that that was me. I didn't recognize myself. I didn't know who I had become. I was about 45 pounds overweight, and I didn't like how my life looked. I felt very empty. And I remember my coach and friend, I had met her through my sister-in-law. She's now my sister-in-law's sister-in-law. It's all this crazy, wonderful family story, but she invited me to a challenge group. And this was kind of before challenge groups really had started. No challenge packs then. I bought my program off of eBay. You know, my coach never made a dime off of me before I started coaching. So never count those people out, because you never know what they'll do. So I started Chilling Extreme, and it saved my life, really. I lost weight. I felt better. I had energy. I had never been the girl who liked working out. I hated it, in fact, but I found that I was just happier. My hormones were more balanced. It pulled me out of depression. It gave me something to focus on. And it just everything kind of began. And my coach presented me with this opportunity, and I'm like, what the heck is Beachbody coaching? I had no idea. I was like, what do I even do? I talked to my husband, and he was like, whatever, go for it. And I said, I'm probably going to fail at this. I mean, I don't see how I could be any good at selling things. I don't think I can, make this business, but I figure it'll be something, and maybe I can, get a discount. And so I went all in, and it's just been an awesome journey. It hasn't been a quick journey. I, didn't hit all these milestones super fast, but I just decided that, you know what, every year I'm going to keep showing up, and I'm going to be here in a year. And I remember hearing that. You hear that all the time. Jeff Hill says it, hear it at Summit, be here in a year. Commit to that. And I am so committed. I don't know if you realize this yet or not. I don't know where you are in your coaching journey, but this is a roller coaster. I mean, out of control. You are going to have the biggest highs. You're going to have someone message you and say, oh my goodness, I'm down 15 pounds. I feel amazing. And you're going to be on that high with them. You're going to hit ranks. I mean, you hit that first rank of Emerald. You're like, I'm on top of the world, And then you keep climbing, and you're so excited. And then you're going to hit that crash and burn, because that roller coaster has to come down. It cannot keep climbing. That's the thing about, this whole entrepreneurial roller coaster. There's highs and lows, and that's what kind of melds it all together to make it this incredible journey. But sometimes we don't see those lows that way, right? We just see it as, I dropped rank. What the heck was she thinking? Why didn't she order? Why didn't she tell me she was going to, and you get so frustrated because suddenly things are out of your control. Well, about 3 years into my business, I finally realized that, personal development is one of the vital behaviors for an incredible reason. And it started transforming my business. Now, I'm not going to tell you that, I started doing personal development, my rank increased, and, all this stuff, and I hit all this blah, 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 No, I'm going to tell you that I started doing personal development, and I found my joy in coaching again. And I found my why deeper and more meaningful. I found I had more things to share with people to enrich their lives, and therefore it enriches my life. So personal development is one of those things that we can easily neglect. I mean, we're messaging people, you're trying to get Success Club, you're learning all this stuff, and it's overwhelming sometimes, all of the tasks that you find to do. And as you grow in the business and as you gain people on your team, like your tasks grow with that, and it becomes more and more. So it's easy to set aside personal development and be like, I don't got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. But I'm going to tell you, you don't have time not to do personal development. So I have some notes. They're a big scratchy mess, but hopefully it'll make some sense to you, and I hope it can help you. If you do like taking notes, I'm one of those people that likes writing down my own crazy chicken scratch. So I want to just jump right in. Why do we need personal development? You hear it all the time. I used to roll my eyes like, oh, I don't know, fine, yeah. But when I finally realized how important it was just, like light bulb moment. So we talk about drinking Shakeology, right? If you've done your research, you know that Shakeology is super dense nutrients. I mean, it fills your soul, it feeds your body like on a deep level, and it fills in those gaps. Well, personal development is like the Shakeology, as Shakeology is for your body. Personal development is like the Shakeology for your soul. It fills in those gaps. And when things are hard, and when things are frustrating, and when you're like, I don't know what the heck to post today on social media, personal development is going to be the thing that kind of fills those gaps and gives you that strength to keep going. When you're frustrated with one of your coaches, when you're like totally overwhelmed because Coach Relations is not listening to you and helping you with that customer, and you're like, and you have someone return 5 ultimate resets, and you're like, what is going on? Crazy things happen. But if you have personal development at the foundation, and you are strengthening and feeding your soul, you are going to have a better, stronger foundation to be able to help people. I mean, seriously, you give so much as a coach, right? You are constantly giving to people. People are going to suck the life out of your soul. If you haven't gotten to that point yet, it is coming, I promise. You are going to have those people that are needy. You are going to have those people that don't listen to a word you say and then they blame you. You are going to have someone who emails you and says, you know, you didn't help me and I'm returning. And you're going to have that. You're going to be like, oh my goodness, I just want to help people. And personal development is going to help you draw from something. When you as a coach are giving, you have to be filling your soul so that you can give. That's what we do. I mean, we give to people so much. It's so much a part of what we are as coaches.
Yeah, he was cute.
So, we're getting some feedback.
He knows that's turning off the remote now.
Cute.
I'll pause a minute. You gotta love Zoom. It's so fun. At least it's not my kids like screaming in the background. They are all thankfully asleep. So anyway, personal development, why do we need it? It grounds us. It's vital. It helps us. And you know, something else that's really important is I heard, oh goodness, now it's, I can't remember his name now. John Maxwell? Yes, I think that was it. I remember him saying, you know, you don't need to necessarily constantly be building on your weaknesses. You need to be building on your strengths too. And I loved that. And personal development is all about that. It's not only strengthening our weaknesses, but strengthening our strengths. You all bring something unique to your team. You bring something unique to your challenge groups. You bring something unique to the people that you get to work with, that you get to contact. And when we can strengthen our strengths that we have been given to work with, it's just incredible to be able to give back. So that's kind of the why we need personal development. You know, it's not like this earth-shattering thing. It's not like, okay, great, I have that. Now I'm going to be, you know, Success Club 20 tomorrow. But honestly, if we don't build from a foundation, then we're going to get burnt out. And I am telling you, I see it over and over and over. And the longer you coach, the longer you're going to see it. The people that are going to this, oh, no, that didn't work. Oh, Beachbody didn't work. Oh, this didn't, no, it's just too hard. You know, you are going to burn out so fast if you have nothing to draw from. And you will miss out on so much in this business because I'm telling you, it is top notch. I've been with this company for a long time. I've seen a lot of changes. And, you know, sometimes we like all freak out. I don't know if any of you were around when they changed the Shakeology formula and it was, you know, we kind of started freaking out. Things like that are going to happen again. But if we have a strong foundation, it's going to be a little bit easier to roll with things and to realize, you know what, it's going to be okay. So I want to give you a little more practical what and how of personal development. I kind of break personal development down into 3 categories. When I started doing this, it helped me to balance out my PD a little bit better. So the first one is soul filling. And I talked about this a little bit. Soul filling is where something you need to work on, something you need encouragement in, something you can draw from and strengthen yourself. For me, you know, I love Jesus, and I tend to gravitate towards books that are, you know, encouraging my soul, that are going to, you know, fill me in that way. And, you know, I don't know where you're at, but what's interesting is I notice on my team that one person will post this, you know, oh, you got to read this. This is awesome. And, you know, I'll go and look at it and be like, you know what, that doesn't relate to me at all. But we think, oh, well, that person said it was good, so I'm going to read it. Here's the thing. You've got to find the personal development that's going to help you with your weaknesses and your strengths and things that pertain to you. So be a researcher, go on Amazon, do searches, talk to people who are like you, other coaches who you relate to, and say, hey, what's a personal development that would be good for this? Ask questions. Say, I'm struggling in this area of my life. You know, maybe it's binge eating. You know, for me, emotional eating triggers. I want to be more intuitive about my eating. So I have tried to find some soul-filling personal development that was going to attack those areas, and that I would have, you know, some good ammo for myself and then to help people. If I'm seeing a lot of my challengers struggle in a certain area of, you know, their diet or just their thinking, like, you know, stinking thinking, I will go and find personal development where I know it's going to help me, it's going to help them. So you have to you have to be really intuitive about this. There is not a one size fits all for personal development. Number 2, personal development. So the first one is fill your soul. You've got to take care of you first. I don't know how many of you are mamas here, but like you cannot pour from an empty cup. You've got to be filling yourself. You've got to be taking care of yourself. And sometimes your challenges are like the whiny little babies that just need mama, or the little puppy that's calling out, our challenges can be that way. And I love, oh my goodness, I'm not talking bad about them, just saying that is how it can affect us sometimes when we are giving and giving and giving. So you got to fill your soul. I know I've said that so many times, but it's just so important. So number 2, business building PD. When I talk about business building, I mean things like social media, being a leader, how to, network marketing. That is what I would qualify, as like the business building PD. And there's so many different forms. I have a book, like I'm sitting in front of my bookshelf because this was how I could prop up my phone better. Like this is something I would call this business building. Jab, jab, right hook. By Gary Vee, like that would be business building. Dave Ramsey, look at this. I have all these books right here in front of me. Dave Ramsey, Entre Leadership, The Power of Presence. I mean, these are all business building. How can you be a better leader? How can you lead people well? How can you run a business better? It's great to, fill your soul, but you have to be business minded. And this isn't something that, your coach is necessary. We all connect in social media differently. Some of us are Instagram people. Some of us do better on Twitter. Some of us do better on Snapchat. Some of us do better on Facebook. You have got to research your social media venue that works for you, because your coach can't give you everything. And honestly, I don't think that your coach should have to train you on social media. We just put together a new training on our team, and we went over the basics of social media, and we told them in the training, you figure out what social media works for you and you go learn it. You make yourself stronger in that area. You have to be a business builder. You cannot be a follower in this business. You will not succeed. You have to be a leader, and leaders learn and keep learning and keep failing and keep learning. So, dive deep into that business building. I typically will always have these 3. I'll tell you what the 3rd one is in a minute, but I always have 3 books that I am reading, listening to, whatever. And it will be something. This first one was soul filling. I'll have a book about that. The second one is the business building. I'll be doing some form, like I'll be doing a training. Right now I'm doing a Jesse Reagan social media training. So I'm working my way through that. It's like overwhelming to my soul, but it's good. You got to stretch yourself up. So, that's my personal development. It's a training. Chalene Johnson has awesome trainings. I mean, there's so many trainings out there, and some of them are going to relate to you better. So find it and do it. Invest. I know that's hard, especially when, where businesses are young, not making a ton of money, but sometimes you need to invest in your business. And it's hard, but it's definitely worth it. And when you get to that point, I would say go for it. Find someone that other people recommend and do a social media or some kind of training. The 3rd type of PD is Team Beachbody specific. So your coach, Jessica, probably has some kind of training that she does for you guys, or has for you, or her upline has something that you guys can plug into. And that's awesome. But you know what? It's not her job to give you personal development as far as Beachbody. I know it's crazy, because I help my team as much as I possibly can, but nobody held my hand. Nobody told me what to do. We didn't have Coach Basics when I started. I just had to figure it out. And honestly, I think sometimes when we just say, I'm just going to figure this out and fail forward, I'm going to dig into whatever's in the Coach Online office, and I'm going to go all in, you're going to be more rewarded for your work and effort that you put into learning. So I'm telling you, even if you've done Jessica's training, even if you've done, some of these, whatever you guys have got, you should go into the Coach Online office and just see what's there. I will confess that they recently, redid the Coach Basics, and I was dragging my feet. But a few of my coaches and I, we had a little powwow, and we're like, we need to just check this out. We are constantly throwing spaghetti at the wall, trying to train our team, thinking it's our responsibility. Let's see what they've got. there's some great trainings in the Coach Online Office, and we actually incorporated a ton of it into our own Coach Basics. But that's the thing. I run a Coach Basics now every month with my team, but it is not my job to train them. It is their job to do the work. It is your job as coaches to go out there, find the training, and get it done. And I know it's hard, and I know we're busy, and I know like doing one more training, sometimes our brains are like on overload. But if you are going to run your business, you have got to put the time in for the personal development that is specifically involved in business building activities. I have some things because I have a few more thoughts on the other side here, and I don't remember what. So I want to encourage you specifically to like the National Wake Up Call. If you aren't listening every single week, and I know sometimes you're like, I mean, I know sometimes you don't have time, and to put on that, you know, if you have to, fast forward through the announcements, fast forward through the shout outs and stuff. You know, it's okay if you only have a little bit of time to get to the meat of it and just do it. I mean, go to the podcast app, listen when you have time, pause it, come back to it, but get it in. I can tell you that the National Wake Up Call is one of the number one things that has propelled my business forward, because hearing other coaches share their story and where they came from, sometimes I have to like put on my blinders of, you know, not comparing myself, but more often than not, I am inspired. And I think if they can do it, so can I. And their stories will relate to me in a different way. And sometimes they won't relate at all. And I'll just go, nope, blinders on. I'm not going to worry about that. You know, so what if I've been in this business 5 years and they're way ahead of me? No, that's not the point. The point is get out of it what you can and move forward. Okay, so you have to be listening to the National Wake Up Call. There's just like no excuses for that one. You've got to schedule it into your week. You don't have to listen to it live. I never do. I always catch the replay. You need to do your team trainings. These things will transform your business. And, you know, it's so easy to just like, oh no, I just got to do the work, which you do. I mean, you have to be doing the other vital behaviors. They're so important, but you also have to be learning as much as you can. So I'm going to tell you different formats of PD. I mean, you can read books, but I will tell you honestly, I'm so bad at reading books. I used to be like, woo, go through the books like that. But lately, like with kids and schedules, and I don't know, we added a puppy in, what were we thinking? But it's hard to read. And especially like when you're reading a book, you know, like Entre Leadership, and you're falling asleep, I would recommend going to audible.com, doing a free subscription to start. You usually get a free book if you haven't done it before, but it is so worth it to do Audible, because I can pop it on when I'm driving. I can listen to it when I'm doing the dishes. I can listen to it when I'm sending out, hi, how are you messages. You know, you can listen to a book on, you know, audio anytime. And I love that. And I love how sometimes you just have to think outside the box to get it done. You can also, I think a lot of libraries nowadays have where you can listen online and you can borrow the books. You don't have to buy them, guys. So, you know, go for it. There are podcasts out there. I mean, there are coaches who have podcasts. Shalene Johnson has podcasts. I say her name again because she's amazing. There are so many podcasts out there. And if you're looking for one, you know, post it in your team page. Somebody is going to suggest an awesome podcast. I will even go to different, Audible is awesome. I will even go to different podcasts that are totally unrelated, but I'll find something like, I'll just start searching through the ones that my husband is listening to, and I'll be like, oh, that one's something about weight loss. Oh, that'll be a good one. You know, that's PD, right? That's teaching you more things. So find ways that work for you. YouTube's another one. And here's my trick for YouTube. I never sit down and watch. I will just put it on and listen to it, because you can still treat it like Audible. You can put it on in the background. You can listen to it. Sometimes you have to sit down and jot down notes, but sometimes even just listening to it. You need to figure out on YouTube, search for things you are specifically struggling with. Maybe you really want to get to emerald. Maybe you're like trying to push to the diamond. Maybe you're trying to figure out how to maximize your cycle bonuses. Go and search that. There are so many incredible videos out there. Top coaches give so much, and I really appreciate that. But, you know, I am sure your coach as well has tons of videos and trainings and different things she can throw right at you if you are willing to ask. So, there's so many opportunities. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything here on the little list. La, la, la. Yeah. So personal development is not like this glamorous thing where you feel like, oh yeah, because when you go and you invite people, it just feels like you're doing more, right? Because you're either getting a yes or a no. But with personal development, you are giving yourself something to draw from. You are building your business. You are setting a foundation, no matter which type it is. And it's so crucial, my friends. I can't believe how much it really has changed, even how I view my team, how I view problems that come up, how I view, different situations, the ups and downs, highs and lows. It has grounded me, and it's helped me realize that there's like a bigger picture. And, you can control your business. I know some things are out of your control. They will always be out of your control. You cannot, force people to, you can't force other people to work in your business, but you can control how you run your business. And when your team sees that and they see more confidence and they see you growing and learning, I really truly believe it inspires people to keep going and to stick with it. And when they see how you respond to things, because you have a deeper well to draw from, your why is bigger, it really makes a difference. So I am going to encourage you all to, on your team page tonight, tell your coach what you are doing for personal development. I'm going to check in with Jessica because I'm all about homework and accountability. So you post in your team page and get a thread started in there and you write what you're doing for personal development and what you're learning from it. Or, maybe you're like, yeah, so I'm in between PD right now. Hey, go tonight and find out what's your next one going to be. I will tell you, I have like this problem. I start books, but I don't finish them. So I have made myself accountable to one of my coaches, and she's holding me accountable to finish a book a month. So I'm working on that. I'm trying to be better about it. But if you need, I'm sure in your team, people can lead you in the right direction. I'm sure you have lists. I have some lists that I can share with Jessica as well. I have a whole library here of just books that have helped me along my way. I will say this. I don't know where you are like spiritually in life, but this book right here, Love Does by Bob Goff, like literally changed my life. It made me realize that in this coaching business, when we have our hands closed and we're only thinking about what we can gain from it, it is very hard to have our hands filled. And the more you open your hands, the more your hands are willing to not only give, but receive. And I really, really was moved by that book and just his ability to just, I don't know, and it's not even related to coaching, not at all, but for some reason it has stuck with me and helped me with my team a little bit better to just like go for it. Do big things. Love people so well, and you will see amazing things happen. So that's all I got for you guys.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, guys. I know that we know how important PD is, but raise your hand if you find yourself slacking in it from time to time. Okay. I see like most hands up. Yeah. So this call just touched my heart, and I wrote down some good tips. I absolutely love what you said about having a soul-filling book, a business building PD, and a beach body PD going at all times. I think that's really good advice. Really good advice. Would you be kind enough, Danielle, to share any of your other, like, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but any other of your top titles with us?
Okay, it's hilarious that I'm like literally sitting in front of my personal development row on my bookshelf. I did not plan this. So I don't have all of them here, but I will pick out some of my, if you want a good one, like this, I thought this was a really good book for network marketing. It's called Dare to Dream and Work to Win. You can see that, Dr. Tom Barrett. It's just kind of like basic network marketing, and I found it really helpful in just like just thinking a little bit, like just go for it. Let me see. Oh, see my current ones. Jab, Jab, Right Hook. I think that's a great book. It's hard to read. I will confess, it's hard to read. It's a little bit like, but there's some great examples in there. Yeah. The Energy Bus was really good.
I love that.
Entrepreneurial Roller Coaster is like a must read. That was awesome.
Agreed.
What was the one? This one was so good, and I cannot remember the name, but I'm not seeing. I think it might have been an ebook. I can share a list because I don't have all of them right here in front of me. But I mean, even parenting books, if you are a parent, like that's a soul-filling book, and it helps to connect with people. It is amazing. Like this is just here. This one is called Unconditional Parenting. When you can draw from people, and this isn't why I do personal development, but having extra things to post about and give to people, it's like you are adding value to their lives, just sharing a quote from a personal development. This was a good one. 5 Habits of a Woman Who Doesn't Quit. That is by Nikki. Oh, I do not know how you say that last name. And of course they spelled it weird on the back too.
That's okay. You're right.
So 5 Habits of a Woman Who Doesn't Quit. I am currently reading a book, and it's more religious, so I don't know where you guys are on that, but it's called Every Body Matters. Excellent. Oh, here's another one. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to just write all these down for you. There's and I don't have it because I let one of my coaches borrow it. It's called As Is. And I can't remember the name of it. This book is like life-changing as well. It is so good. It's a practice for being at home in your skin. It's really hard to find on Amazon. But I'm going to have to just write all these down for you.
Okay, thank you. And I jotted a bunch of these down. And I love what you said about adding value to people's lives by sharing what you're learning as PD.
Yeah, I have the rest of my books are down in my office, but
this is great.
Yeah.
I really, really appreciate it. And I don't know if you saw Melissa wrote in the chat box that she could relate. Let's see.
I don't know if I can see.
Could relate to. Oh, I could relate so much. Yes, I love the 3 types of PD. Bethany wants to know if you have any PD suggestions for team building. And I know this is kind of like
team building.
Sometimes it's hard to think about it off the top of your head, but
I feel like there's one. I'm like looking at my.
I know, I'm looking at my.
There's one that I'm reading right now, and of course I don't have it up here, and I cannot remember the name of it. It's another network marketing one, and she doesn't necessarily talk about team building, but I felt like it was. I don't know. Oh yeah, I can't find it.
John Maxwell has one that's. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I don't want to.
No, you're totally.
John Maxwell has one that is for leadership. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like the laws
15 invaluable laws of growth.
Nope, he's got one that's like that, but it's for leadership. No, I mean, I love it. It's like, does anybody know what I'm talking about? Alyssa, do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I feel like I have it.
Is it Entre Leadership?
No. It's John Maxwell.
This is a really good one for mamas out there. 10 Habits of Happy Mothers. I actually did this as a free group.
Oh.
It's really good. Meg Meeker is awesome. She is just, and it's really easy read, and it's easy to break the chapters up for people. Great quotes to share on your Facebook, by the way. She is so good.
20, I'm writing that down. Thank you, Danielle. I haven't read that one. I like the idea of doing the complimentary group with it. The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership.
Oh, yeah. I have that on here somewhere.
By John Maxwell. And Heart-Led Leader I've heard is good too, but I haven't read that one.
Yeah.
I have it on my shelf.
I feel like I have a book downstairs on my shelf that is about team building, but now I can't think of what it is. Do I include books in all groups? I have done several group endeavors as far as, I've done that a few times, and it works well It works well, but at the same time, a lot of people who do my book groups, I usually have them, they have to at least do the 30 days of free on demand. So I find that when people buy a book to do a group, they don't want to buy a workout program or Shakeology, and but at the same time, sometimes it's just good. It's good to give to people. So when I'm really feeling like I have the time and energy to pour into a group like that, it is valuable, but it's kind of that slow. You're going to see slow growth from that. You're going to see slow building with people, but to pour into people is always worthwhile. It is always a beneficial thing. So I haven't done them as much lately, just because I haven't had the time to when I do them, I want to do them well with the book groups. But I do enjoy them. And I have had people say that they are, one of, their groups that they really do like. I recently did a group, and actually everyone had to get a challenge pack for that group. And I did the As Is book, because she has a journal that goes with it. And I really thought that, it's so important. And I'll probably run a group like that again, because I really think it's important for people to be doing personal development. Because, think about where you were when you started your physical transformation. If you didn't change in your insides and in your brain, if you didn't change your mind, you would still be struggling. You would not get very far. And that's the beauty of this business. And that's honestly, I feel a Facebook post coming on right now, but really it's the beauty of the transformation that we go through. It's not just a physical transformation. It can't be. And it's just cool that one of our vital behaviors is PG. How awesome is that we are encouraged to better ourselves. So it's pretty cool. Can't see all the chat stuff, so I'm not sure if anybody else has said anything.
Any tips for engagement if you do a book in your group?
I definitely would sit down ahead of time. So do I have a book that I've done here? So the Happy Mama book. And that was a fun one. So I'd go through ahead of time, and I would make sure, this is great because she has it broken up into 10 habits. Okay, so I would just say 10 weeks. This is a 10-week group. And each week you work on a habit. And I would do a check-in. Have you, a midweek check-in. How are you doing with your reading? And then in the following Monday, every Monday, I would say, okay, let's talk about last week. And I would just say, give me your favorite, whatever. And I would remind them what we wrote about or read about. And then obviously with that, I would do, check-ins for just accountability as far as workouts and drinking your Shakeology, if you, choose to do that there. But yeah, it depends on the book. A lot of times, like the 21 days, that one works perfectly. The As Is book, perfectly with the 21-day fix. It's like the perfect 3-week group. Some people aren't going to feel, that they can share, but, just saying, did you read the chapter? At least, they're getting something from it. And a lot of times with those two, I will do some kind of, for everyone who finishes the book and, how many workouts a week, I'll do some kind of prize.
I love it. Oh, Bethany, you can unmute yourself, lady.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sorry. For some reason,
good.
I can't see the chat.
Let's see.
Okay. Hi there. So do you do it optional then? Because I guess I did it in February and I only had a few people reading, and it just felt kind of like, I don't know, there was like 5 out of 40 that were doing it. It just didn't feel like.
If I'm going to go all in with a book group, they have to have the book.
Okay.
Like I will tell them, you have to check in. I will not add them to my group until they tell me they have bought the book. Because you're right, then it just then there's only 2 people posting. And if at least you have everybody committed to buying the book, they're going to be a little more committed to read it. So then you do get a little more of that commitment. So yeah,
so is it
definitely.
A 21-day fix group that you incorporate books to, or is it a book group that you kind of incorporate the programs into? Do you know what I mean? Like which one's
so the As Is group that I've done before, it's an awesome book because it has very short chapters. Okay. And it's a very introspective chapters. Like she shares a little bit about her, inner struggles and has you go go through and write a little journal entry. So I would say, okay, this is week 1. This is, day 1. We're going to start with day 1 in our book. And for the 21 day one, I would do an accountability. Like, did you read, day 1? Did you do your journal entry? Did you do your workout? Did you drink your Shakeology? Like, I would do a little checklist, post done in the comments when you have. You're always going to have, only like 50% of the people, or everybody starts out participating and then they peter off at the end. And that's just, I've just come to the point, with personal development to kind of bless and release that, because that's on them, not me. I pour my heart and soul into my groups, and some people just aren't ready to keep committing, and things come up, and that's just life. So yeah, so it would depend, but the book as is, man, I got to get the title of that. It's such a long title that it's hard to remember, but it's like a journey of finding peace in your skin, 21-day journey. It's really, really great to go along with the 21-day fix, because it's like, okay, here's your workout for the day. Or even just saying, hey, this is you could even say, okay, this is week 1. We're going to do days 1 through 7. Your workout schedule, here's the workouts for the week. Drink your Shakeology, do your eating plan. We'll do some check-ins along the way. Let's do this, So, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're so welcome.
Does anybody else have any questions for Danielle? And Danielle, you've done groups that are just a book too, right? Like the mama.
I have done groups that were just a book. Yes and no. Like, I always have to put some other accountability in, like some kind of, did you work out today? Just because it's in my soul. Like, so yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Anybody else have any other questions?
So, here's one. This is one that I did just as a book group, but I still kind of incorporated fitness in a little bit. Like I said, you had to be doing a workout at least 3 days a week. This book was so good. If you are an unglued mama, it's really good. I am an unglued mama. I'm an unglued woman. It was really good. So yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Oh my gosh, guys, are you all feeling like revved up to do more, be better with your PD, and to maybe start including it for some free challenges or in your challenge groups?
Woohoo!
I am. And can I add totally off the topic that you have really fabulous hair? I've been noticing it since I've been following you more closely on Facebook. I'm like, girl, you have amazing hair.
I will say, when you're like trying to figure out your brand, my hair has taken on an identity all of its own. It's very funny. It is interesting how once I finally was like, oh, people like my hair, I'm going to roll with this. So, you just never know what people are going to start following you for. So there you go.
Your hair is amazing. I would follow you for your hair if I didn't.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Awesome. Well, I won't keep you. I know it's really late there, and I just really, really appreciate you, Danielle, taking the time to chat with us. This is a really important topic, and I needed to ground it back to it. So thank you so much, and I will let you know what titles everyone's reading. Maybe you'll get some ideas to share with your team.
I would love that. It is always good to swap books, for sure.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was great. Yeah, I would love to, somehow get to know your team. I don't know, but yeah.
All right. Sounds good. And I'll be in touch.
Okay. Thanks. Bye, guys.
Have a good night. Thank you.
You too.